Managing a construction business is super easy. No, it's not. Managing and growing a construction business are probably one of the hardest things that anybody can do. I've been there, done that. Growing a construction business and managing a construction business takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of juggling. And today I prepared a simple 4-step process to free you so you can work on your business, not be stuck working in your business. My name is Daniel Quindamel, founder of I Am Builders. We are a construction estimating and consulting firm, and we specialize in working with contractors and helping them grow their construction business. So I want to help you do the same thing. And today we're talking about how to manage a construction business. There are people that grow up in the trades, or their father was a general contractor or a drywall guy or a painter, and then they grew up in the trades and they know they're the best painter or they're the best framer or the best drywall guy or they're the best construction manager. There's not really a way, there's not like a standardized way for someone to learn the business side and the sales side of construction. The reason you're watching this video is because you want to manage a business, but as a manager, you have to think of both the sales and the operations of the business. So think of like, let's think of your company. Half of your company is going to be in the sales. So half of your time needs to be dedicated to marketing your business, getting leads, estimating those jobs, closing those jobs. And then as soon as you sign that contract, it transitions into your operations side of the business. Your project management team, your field supervision team, your piece workers, your subs, your suppliers, your vendors. So the mistake a lot of contractors make is they get so consumed with one part of the business, which is the operations, because that's where all the emergencies are, that they neglect the sales. So today, what I'm going to share with you is a very powerful strategy. Is so simple, but for some reason it's so hard for contractors to do. It's going to free you up to work on your business, not in your business. One of my mentors once taught me that if you're stuck focusing on the operations, focusing on your business, focusing on like the nitty gritty, focusing on the busy work, you're not able to do research and development on your business. You can't get more sales. You can't get more leads. Basically, you're stuck. You can't grow your business because you're consumed every single day. You can't get out of that. It's like a rat race. It's almost impossible to get out of that. But today I'm going to show you exactly how. Number one, a strategy that is going to let you work on your business, not be stuck in your business. The main thing I want to stress is there are 4 key parts of your business that you need to delegate. Let's call them departments. You're going to have your sales department, which has to do with your estimating and your inbound leads. You're going to have your accounting department, which is where you're going to get paid. That's going to be the person that pays all of your invoices and things like that and submits your AIA billings. You're going to have your project management team who handles the contracts and handles the change orders and the RFIs and the management, administrative management, and is overall responsible for the project. And you're going to have your field supervision team, your general superintendent, your project superintendent, your assistants, your piece workers, your subcontractors. Those 4 key positions, let's call them departments or key people, are what you're going to need to free yourself. And the reason you want to free yourself is because you as the business owner are the best salesperson. Let me ask you, if you hired me to go sell for you, who do you think would be better at sales? Me or you? Who knows their business better? You do. You're going to be the best salesperson for your business. You're the face of your business. And actually, I was reading, there's this concept in marketing that when you want to have a movement, there has to be a leader to that movement. And if your movement is your business, you have to be the leader for your business. So you can't be stuck with emergencies, on management, on operations. You have to be able to be on all parts of your business, specifically the sales. Let's talk about your estimating department. Estimating is the engine that's going to drive your entire company. So remember when I said like half of your company is sales? Well, you're going to have your leads come in, and getting leads is super easy. There's word of mouth, there's lead platforms, there's all these other ways to get leads. Check out one of my other videos. I talk about leads all the time. You get those leads in the door, and leads are a dime a dozen. I could show you a strategy on how to get leads pretty much overnight, where you can get like 100 leads next week to bid, where you're going to cherry pick those bids. And then now what you want to do is you need time to estimate. And what's the problem that most contractors run into? They're so busy fighting fires during the day, worrying about deliveries, worrying about managing their job sites. As a matter of fact, recently I was having a Zoom call with one of my clients. His problem was that he didn't have enough time to estimate his jobs. So he reached out to us. He said, "Hey, can you guys help me with my estimating? I wanted to review and have questions on your service." So we set up a Zoom call. And it was supposed to be like a 15 or 20-minute Zoom call, to answer any questions and concerns that he might have regarding our estimating service. And in that call, he had to step away for like 10 minutes because he had a field emergency. It was something to do with their concrete pump and how much cubic yards of concrete they ordered. And, he put it on mute. So like, I kind of like overheard the beginning of the conversation, but then he muted it. And I couldn't believe that this guy is really trying to invest in his business and to delegate something as important as estimating. And he didn't even have enough time to spend 15 minutes with me. We are the solution for a lot of people, especially the contractors that you don't want to hire an estimator. You don't have the salary. You don't have enough leads to pretty much justify hiring an estimator. An estimator these days can cost up to $100,000 a year or even more for someone that really, really knows what they're doing. And even if you were to find someone, it's a hard sell because if you're a smaller contractor, it's hard to convince them to come to a smaller company because they have so many options out there. So hiring an estimator, at least at this point for a lot of contractors, is very difficult. So what we do for our clients is we're an on-demand estimating service. So you can literally bid your jobs on demand. And the trick is there is a way to get it for free. What you do is you build in those costs into your overhead, into your projects. So for example, if you're bidding, if you know it's going to take 5 or 10 jobs to win one, what you do is you put a few $1,000s, like let's say $3,000 or $4,000 extra in all of your bids, which is basically going to cover all of your acquisition costs to land your job. So you're going to bid 5 or 10 jobs, you land one, and now you're not dependent on having to pay for estimating because the jobs are going to pay for the estimating for you. And then you just reinvest into the next job, into the next job, into the next job. And eventually when you start landing more jobs, now you're landing 2, 3, 4, 10 jobs a month. And your next issue is going to be managing those projects. What are some challenges you might be having with your estimating department? Go ahead and put your comments below and I'll respond to you with any questions you might have. That leads me to number 3, your accounting department. This is the person that's going to be responsible for the money. You got the person that sells the job. You have the perfect person that manages the job. Now you're going to have the person that's overlooking the money, checking the delivery tickets with the invoices your suppliers are sending you, cross-referencing the AIA billings with what you're billing. They're making sure that you're not overpaying or not underpaying. They're making sure that you're not missing out on paying a subcontractor that will eventually walk off the job if you don't pay them, or those are the things that you genuinely need to have someone dedicated to your accounting. So a lot of contractors, they do their billings once a month. So if you miss out on the deadline, typically it's around the 20th, you're going to miss out on a whole month of pay. And in construction, you typically have a 30 to 90 day window that they pay you. So you can't miss out on that window because you're going to end up getting negative on your job. And then you're going to have to be robbing from this job to pay for these materials. And you don't want to be in a bind like that. So make sure you have someone dedicated to the money in your accounting department. Hey, if you want to keep getting these videos from us, make sure you like and subscribe below so that you can get notified every single time we have a video that we launch. Number 3, your project management department. I can't stress this enough. You have to delegate running the jobs to professionals that know what they're doing and that you can free yourself to go do other things. So project management is one of those things that people that come out of construction management school, they've been pretty much trained, I wouldn't say completely, but they know the basics of construction management. Or you can find, it's a dime a dozen to find people who are experienced in managing construction projects, because doesn't mean you have to let go completely. It just means you have to have a key person, or let's say 2 or 3 people running your jobs. I think a project manager as a GC could manage at least 5 projects at a time. And if you're a subcontractor, you might be able to manage 10 projects at a time. I remember there was a time that I was working for a drywall subcontractor. We were doing $5 or $6 million in sales, and I was managing 15 or 20 projects at a time, and it was overwhelming. So I think the limit is about 10 to, let's say, don't pass 15. Because typically you're only working with one trade, one set of deliveries, one set per project. So it's a little bit easier to manage, so you can have multiple projects. You want to have a key person running your jobs that's going to be able to focus on them. They're going to go to the meetings. They're going to go to the job site walkthroughs. They're going to handle the emergencies for you. Doesn't mean you don't need to be involved. It just means somebody is going to take the 80% of the work or the 90% of that work from you. And they're going to do your billings. They're going to do your change orders. They're going to do all your paperwork. And chances are, if they're a PM, they know about how to use like Procore or Corecon or Buildertrend or whatever project management software you use or that you should be using so that you can streamline your project management. And last, that leaves me to number 4, your field operations. Field operations and your activities are things like your general superintendent, your project superintendent, your assistant superintendents, your piece workers, your subcontractors, your vendors, your suppliers. These are the companies, these are the people that are going to actually build the work. We already talked about the sales, we talked about the management, we talked about the money. Now we're talking about the actual construction. And it's not by coincidence that I put this one last, because most contractors, they flip it. They focus on the emergencies, they focus on the issues, they focus on, this guy's calling me, he's screaming, let me stop what I'm doing and let me go handle this emergency. I remember once I was at this company called Coroni, the one I always mention, and we had a general contractor. There was this annoying general contractor. His name was Lee. We used to actually have a joke that on his jobs we would add like 20% and we would call it the Lee factor because this guy was like annoying and demanding and he was always screaming and screaming and screaming. My boss, the owner of the company, one day he got pissed and he says, "Who does this guy think he is? Lee is a tiny little mouse trying to steer our ship. We're not going to move. We're not going to make decisions because of this one guy." And I was like, it was like an epiphany. I was like, what? That's true. In our business, in construction, we get dominated by emergencies. Imagine this. You have a bid to submit and it's due like in the next day or 2 days from now. But then that day you have an issue in the job site where you have to go manage it. Which one do you think to most contractors they're going to put a priority on? They're going to put priority on the emergency because nobody's going to be screaming for this bid, but they are going to be screaming when something doesn't go right on the job. That is a huge mistake. And that's why we're talking about delegating these tasks, delegating these positions, because as an owner, you should be managing the business. You should be able to work on your business. You should be able to go to a job site, do a walkthrough, walk with your superintendent, give them some feedback, boom. And in an hour, you go back to the office, sit with your project management team, talk about every single job, spend an hour doing that, boom, you're done. Then you go to your accounting department. How's our billings? How's our income? How's our net profit? What are we looking at? Boom, and you're done. Then you go to your estimating department. What jobs are we bidding? Who's asking for a bid? What are we doing here? Boom. And in a day, you can manage your whole business just like that. You can literally do it part-time. Imagine that. You don't have to work 70 hours a week doing it all yourself. Just delegate. And you might be thinking, oh, but that's going to be expensive. When I met Paolo, who was my boss, I was working as a superintendent for a general contractor called CamCon. And he was one of our drywall subs. I remember in one of our jobs, he was overwhelmed, freaking out. He had like so much going on. And he tells me, I'm so stressed. Like I have so many things going on. I don't know what to do. And I told him, I go, look, those days I didn't know. Truthfully, I didn't know how to grow a construction company, but I kind of paid attention. So I go, hey, Paolo, like, why are you doing it all yourself? Every construction company I've seen has someone doing their paperwork, someone doing their management, someone doing their billing. Like, why don't you just delegate some of these things? And fast forward like 3 months, I see him at one of our other job sites, different person, completely different person, relaxed, stress-free. He pulls out his phone. He grabs his phone and he says, look at this. And then he starts like bragging. Look at all these jobs that I've sold. Look at all these jobs that I'm managing. And he goes, Daniel, I listened to what you told me and I hired an accountant. And I got one of my smart field guys and I promoted him to the office and now he's doing estimating with me. And now I'm looking for project managers. So basically he delegated and he was able to sell more jobs and he was able to free himself from the stress of having to do every single thing himself. It was an amazing feeling knowing that I helped him do that. So now I'm giving you the exact same advice. Free yourself so you can run your jobs, manage your business. You're going to be able to put all those costs into your jobs as overhead. So it's not going to cost you more money. You're going to develop a system to estimate those jobs so that you can literally predict. Like if you bid 100 jobs this year, which you should probably be bidding more jobs. You should be bidding at least, if you're a GC, you should be bidding at least 20 jobs a month. If you are a subcontractor, you should be doing minimum 60. So if you're bidding at least 100 jobs, you're going to land 10. Maybe you get lucky in 15. It's called the law of large numbers. So we can predict this. Go back to last year's sales, see how many jobs you bid and versus how many jobs you won. I bet you it's like 10 to 20%. Go do it. Go do it right now and let me know what you think. Put it in the comment below. Now, if you are serious about growing your construction business, I prepared a short 30-minute video training, which is going to show you exactly how to grow your construction business on autopilot. There's a system and a strategy that you can copy and paste into your business that's going to have you bidding unlimited number of jobs and getting unlimited number of leads, so you can bid pretty much on autopilot and you could do exactly what we talked about today, freeing yourself. So watch that training. Click the button below if you're on my website, or it'll be in the description below, a link in the description below, or go to iambuilders.com/training and go check it out. I know it's going to be a great thing for your business. So go do that. And I look forward to helping you grow your construction business.